Hi friends, let's jump into typing her.
Because that's what, Holly and Ryan are both very emotional choreographers. It's not really about technicality, it's just about expressing a feeling that perhaps there's not even a word for, and I think that's what's so amazing about dance, is you can express in movement stuff that there just isn't a language for. It has its very own, it's kind of...
What she is describing here is NF, like there is no word for this emotion, or there's no word for this feeling, and you can't really express it, but you can show it with the dance, with the movement, because ST words are so limited that they can't describe the NF. And I just want to pay attention to if she is a blaster or not. Is this a blast?
It's so forward and then so kind of natural at the same time. You can kind of express stuff that is impossible otherwise. And also I was having some time off, and actually I found it in that year, and Holly and I used to work together twice a week sometimes, and I would just do, and because Holly, she's a very emotional choreographer, and it would be taking on someone else's story for a while. So it introduced the idea of...
What is this? This is not a lesson. This is not a... I don't know. This is not a blaster lesson, and she doesn't have a OI very high up there, because she's just taking us along, and there's not really a point that she's trying to convey. She's just telling about, we would, I don't know, dance for a week, and then we would do these movements, but she's not trying to convey a message here.
Acting, because she would take things from her life, she would give to me, and then I would that I would do, and so it really kind of it started the whole process, and then I knew that it was I'd found even a new language that was...
Right. I think that's what's interesting about dance in the films especially, is that each one of the movement around...
Okay, compared to other two people, she is the one that is missing blast. The other two has some sort of blast.
Would explain the song to me and what it meant to her.
Let's jump and try to see the letters.
A question from I am Abby N15. This is the way they want, but she wants to know from you guys. Can you explain the meaning behind the movement in Delilah, where you're kneeling and praying, and then praying, I don't know, and dramatically lift your head up and back?
Okay. Well, that was me and Holly, and I think kind of the Delilah was again about self-destruction, and also about kind of power balances, and the song itself is kind of written loosely on waiting. The thing about relationships now is that so much of it takes place on the phone. So it was waiting for someone to call you or text you back becomes a new kind of agony, this new, and your phone, instead of being just a thing you talk to people, becomes something that can make you or break you. So that was that feeling of purgatory, and also it was a Samson and Delilah biblical reference, which was about I will do anything to make this stop. So this kind of
okay, this is more reference thing, and to me so far it seems like that. I'm just trying to understand why NF savers would be useful. I'm just trying to understand why it would be useful in as useful as ST and NT, and because NF is my last, I'm NF last, so it's really hard for me to understand why NF would be useful. TE NF doesn't seem TE useful, so I think she's consume over blast. That's very apparent, and the hint for this week was that not missing, not play saver, so it would automatically put her in the consume sleep, because this is so apparently blast last, and this is in sleep and consume introverted, and this is energy. This is not an information conversation. Let's jump here.
Me and my little sister used to make up our own fairy tales with my mum, but it always seemed to revolve around the outfits that we would be wearing. So my mum would be trying to tell this story, and there would be like a plot and some adventure, and me and my sister would just be like, well, no, I would have a crown of rubies, but we'd have emerald shoes, and then, no, but my dress would be made out of pure gold. I was thinking after I did this record, I was like, well, it can't really get bigger. And then when we did Breath of Life, it was the first time that the music had been fully orchestrated, and there was a 60-piece, classical choir. And it was so amazing. I'm so happy with the way it turned out, which scares me because this is so big.
It's so big.
And I love it.
Yeah, this is more in emotions. Like, let's count the emotions.
Happy with the way it turned out, which scares me because this is
Scares.
so big.
It's so big.
And I love it. And I'm like,
Love it.
No.
Go on tour with 110 pieces.
Yeah, and
like,
my manager was in Abbey Road, and I was just on
The
absolutely
cider,
on cloud
question
nine
mark?
with this choir, having the best day of my life, and she was just going, we can't afford this. We can't afford this every day. I was going, but it's amazing.
It's amazing. I love it. Like, we're constantly communicating with emotions. Again, F. And this is not sensory. She's just all over the place. Let's jump into this one.
It was when I came to rate the album and I actually needed a space to be quiet and, to reflect on things. The house just became a completely different thing. It became a kind of sanctuary, and it's a place to kind of come back to and be perhaps calmer, quieter in. I never had a garden before, especially in London, having like a bit of an outdoor space. It says a powerful force for good. That's what it says in here.
Yeah, this is NF so far.
Clothes are my passion and like slightly my downfall. It's really nice to have a dressing room. That kind of enjoyment of creating an outfit is like way to be kind of creative.
Enjoyment, creative, blah blah blah. And okay, if this is N and it is not NI, it's not One Direction, it's not, there is no OI in her speech, it's just blah 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 blah, blah, I think. So it's any, and yeah, this is where she would be, and I think she's a decider because I think she's constantly processing people rather than processing things, pathways. It was fast typing, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, I didn't really enjoy getting to know her. I think she was just ton of NF and ton of blah blah talk, and I'm not really interested in NF right now. So yeah.